one of the bigger movies that has come out in the last few months is, of course, the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt film, Jungle Cruise. Now, I wasn't super excited about it, and I watched the movie and I liked it. It's a good movie. In a world of thumbs up or thumbs down, it's a thumbs up for me. I didn't think the movie was great, but I enjoyed it. It had a good amount of fun. The soundtrack was pretty good. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has always got all the charm in the world. The chemistry between him and Emily Blunt were actually pretty solid, and that's all great. Now, along came then a little bit of a surprise announcement that they were going to release Jungle Cruise in theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time. Much like they did with Black Widow. Unlike Black Widow, where they went to Dwayne Johnson and made an additional agreement with him, but they didn't do that with Scarlett Johansson for Black Widow, which is why Scarlett Johansson is taking them to court right now and suing them, whereas Dwayne Johnson got everything that he wanted, and so they just gave him everything. One of the things, remember, I told you guys about this a while ago. One of the things that I have been told, and I did communicate this to you guys before, that he got, besides a big fat check for allowing Disney to put it up on Disney Plus, was an assurance that he'd be allowed to, regardless of box office performance, to get a Jungle Cruise 2. Well, guess what? No surprise. Today it's official. Jungle Cruise 2, this is coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter, is now officially on the green light. It's now got the green light. It's moving ahead. There we go. So this is what they say over at the Hollywood Reporter. Disney is ready to go down the river one more time, with Jungle Cruise crossing $100 million at the domestic box office, which isn't bad considering the pandemic era that we're in. That's not bad at all. $100 million at the domestic box office this past weekend. The studio pulling the trigger on a sequel. Stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt are set to return as the wisecracking skipper Frank Wolf and intrepid researcher Dr. Lily Houghton, respectively, for the brand new adventure with Michael Green, who co-wrote the hit, back at the keyboard. And the director is, of course, returning again. And there's nothing about this in the report, but I am telling you right now, I guarantee it's not in the report, and I haven't heard anything. This is just me speculating, Rob, but I am telling you right now, it's going to be a theatrical exclusive film, because I guarantee, again, nobody told me this. I am simply speculating as a fan, but I pretty much assure you that a part of this whole thing with Dwayne letting them put the first one on Disney Plus was, okay, yeah, but when we do the second, and you're going to green light our second, and when you do that, hell or high water, or raising Jungle Cruise rivers, it's going to be a theatrical exclusive. So I get whether that's true or not, we'll find out, but that's completely what I speculate here. Again, Rob, not a surprise. Not a surprise. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson isn't signing up for this unless he's getting a franchise. There's no way he's agreeing to let them put this on Disney Plus without A, a big fat check, which they wouldn't give Scarlett Johansson, and B, assurances of a sequel. So I'm not surprised by this at all. And you know what? Good for them. Again, I didn't think Jungle Cruise was great, but it deserved a real chance to see what it could do at the box office. And obviously, none of the movies that are coming out right now are really getting that true box office chance. So they're doing as good as they can. And some of them are making some good money, Free Guy, for example. But good for them, because now we're going to get to see what Jungle Cruise can actually do in a format like this, and what it can do at the box office. Rob, any surprise you're hearing that they're greenlighting this, and what do you expect of it moving forward?
Look, crossing 100 million domestic, obviously it's probably been doing well for Disney Plus, and it's probably been doing well in the foreign territories that it's. I think getting into the Dwayne Johnson business is probably a smart move on Disney's part. If they had to either pay him out a lot of money or make a sequel,
or both,
or both. Look. If people like movies and they're making a second or third one, it can only be a good thing, I hope. And Disney, I really loved the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I love the first one. I love the third one. Actually, the first two. The second one I didn't like as much. But for turning theme park rides into movies, you could do a lot worse than Jungle Cruise.
No, true. And like I said, I thought it ended up being better than I thought it would be. Had a nice light sense of fun and adventure to it. It has its problems. I mean, that's why I don't think it's a great movie. It definitely has its problems, but there was enough of those aspects that you're pointing out that I think made it worthwhile. Made it worthwhile, made it enjoyable. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this and them getting Jungle Cruise a second film? Why do you think they got it? I think we all know why. Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.